Picture this. You're chatting in English, everything is flowing like a dream, then bam! You catch yourself mid-sentence. Your mind blanks, words vanish, and you think, what the heck just happened? If that's you, freezing under pressure, stumbling over simple stuff, you are not alone. And guess what? It's not your English skills. It's something sneakier. Self-monitoring. Today we're smashing down that barrier so you can speak fluently and confidently anytime. So stick around. This could change your speaking game forever. Hit like if you've ever frozen up and subscribe for more fluency hacks. Your brain has two modes when you speak. The first is speaking mode. This is where language flows. Ideas move, meaning forms, words arrive naturally. The second is observing mode. This is where your brain steps outside the experience and watches you. It analyzes, judges, evaluates, tracks, and corrects. Both modes are useful, but there's one problem. You cannot run them fluently at the same time. The moment observing mode turns on, speaking mode slows down. Why? Well, because attention is limited. Your brain cannot fully express a thought while also fully evaluating that thought in real time. So when you start monitoring yourself, your brain divides its resources. Half goes to speaking, and the next half goes to judging. And half attention always produces half fluency. That's why you can speak smoothly when you're relaxed, you're joking, you're talking to friends, you are talking alone, but suddenly struggle when you are in an interview or you're recording a voice message, you're presenting, you're talking to authority figures, you're talking to someone you want to impress. The difference is not language ability, the difference is observation. Fluency dies the moment self-observation starts. Most people misdiagnose this experience. They assume that the problem is skill. They think my vocabulary is not strong enough, or my grammar isn't good enough, or my pronunciation isn't clear enough, or my English is not advanced enough. But here's the truth that most learners never hear. Most speaking breakdowns are attention problems, not language problems. Because if your English were truly the problem, you wouldn't be able to speak smoothly sometimes. But you can. You have had moments where words flowed easily, sentences formed naturally, ideas came quickly, you sounded confident. Those moments prove something important. Your English exists. It's already there. What changes is not your knowledge. What changes is your attention. So when attention splits, fluency drops. Not because your English disappeared, but because you're focused it. Imagine trying to write while someone constantly taps your shoulder. You could still write, but it wouldn't be smooth. Self-monitoring is that tap on your shoulder. Constant, subtle, and interrupting. So why does monitoring suddenly activate? Why does it appear at certain moments? The answer is simple. Pressure. Your brain is designed for survival, not performance. When it senses evaluation, it shifts priorities. Pressure means brain detects possible threat or judgment. Brain prioritizes safety, and speech becomes secondary. In other words, your brain doesn't think you're speaking. It thinks you're being evaluated, and evaluation to the nervous system can feel like danger. So your brain starts scanning for mistakes, scanning for risks, scanning for embarrassment, scanning for signals that something might go wrong. That scanning is self-monitoring, and many situations trigger it automatically. Being recorded, being watched, being graded, being judged, talking to strangers, talking to native speakers, talking to someone confident, even hearing silence after you speak. Even silence can trigger monitoring because silence can feel like they're judging me. But here's the key insight. Your brain does not fear English. It fears evaluation. And the moment it senses evaluation, it shifts from expression mode to protection mode. Protection mode is not fluent. Protection mode is careful. There's a psychological experience I call the mirror effect. The mirror effect is when you start seeing yourself through other people's eyes while you're speaking. Not after, not during. You suddenly imagine, how do I look? How do I sound? Do I look nervous? Do I sound strange? Do they notice my accent? Did that sentence sound wrong? And when that happens, something subtle changes. Your posture stiffens. Your tone tightens. Your rhythm just breaks. Your expression flattens. You stop speaking naturally. You start performing carefully. Symptoms of the mirror effect include sudden stiffness, unnatural tone, forgetting simple words, robotic speech, overcorrecting sentences, speaking slower than normal, feeling like you sound different than usual. And here's the paradox: the moment you imagine how you sound, you stop sounding natural. Because natural speech requires presence, and presence disappears when attention turns inward. So listen carefully to this. Let it sink in. You don't become worse at speaking under pressure. You become more aware of yourself. And awareness is what interrupts flow. Not lack of knowledge, not lack of vocabulary, not lack of intelligence. Awareness. Fluency is destroyed by difficulty. It's interrupted by self-observation. And once you understand that, something inside you relaxes. Because now you know that you are not broken. You are just aware. You've seen people who speak smoothly even in stressful situations: interviews, presentations, meetings, public speaking, high stakes conversations, and maybe you've wondered, what do they have that I don't? Let's clear something up. They are not necessarily smarter, more fluent, more talented, more advanced, more gifted. What they do differently is this: they stay inside the message instead of watching the performance. Struggling speakers watch themselves. Smooth speakers follow the thoughts. Struggling speakers monitor grammar. Smooth speakers deliver meaning. Struggling speakers judge their voice. Smooth speakers express ideas. The difference is not ability, it's attention direction. Where attention goes, fluency follows. There is one mental shift that can transform speaking faster than years of study. It's this: stop asking, how do I sound? Start asking, what do I want to say? That single shift moves attention from self to message. And communication improves instantly when your focus leaves you. Because language exists for meaning, not performance. When your attention is on your listener, your idea, your story, your thought, your brain relaxes. Why? Because it senses safety. And safety unlocks fluency. Fluency is not forced, it's released. So if this has been happening to you, I want you to hear this clearly. You're not bad at speaking. You are not slow and you are not awkward. You are not incapable. You are just aware. And awareness is not a flaw. It's a mental habit. And habits can change. Even native speakers experience this. Native speakers forget words when nervous. They stumble when stressed. They lose sentences mid-thought. They repeat themselves multiple times. They blank out. Not because they don't know their language, but because monitoring activated. So if this happens to you, it doesn't mean your English is weak. It means your attention turned inward. That's human, not defective. Most learners try to fix this problem the wrong way. They think the solution is memorizing more vocabulary, studying harder, correcting every mistake, learning more grammar rules, practicing pronunciation. But none of those fix monitoring, because monitoring is not a language problem. It's an attention pattern. Natural fluency grows from attention training, message focus, comfort with imperfection, emotional safety while speaking. Fluency is not language mastery. It's attention stability. The most fluent speakers are not the ones who know the most words. They are the ones whose attention stays steady while speaking, because steady attention allows ideas to move freely. And free ideas create natural speech. So let's bring everything together. The problem was never your English. It was never your intelligence. It was never your ability to speak. It was never your vocabulary, and also never your grammar. It was the moment you started watching yourself instead of expressing yourself. You didn't lose fluency. You shifted attention, and attention can shift back. You don't need to become someone new. You don't need a new personality. You don't need a perfect accent or advanced vocabulary. You don't need flawless grammar. You only need one thing: permission to stay inside your message. Because the moment you stop monitoring yourself, you start communicating. And when you start communicating, fluency returns. Not perfectly, not dramatically, but naturally. So the next time you feel yourself becoming aware of your voice while speaking, don't panic. Don't fight it. Just gently return your attention to your ideas, to your message, to your meaning, because you are not speaking to observe yourself. You are speaking to express something real. And that changes everything. Stop monitoring and start meaning.